Okay, we'll get started with Virginia Tech. If you have questions, or if you have questions via Zoom, use the raise hand tool. If you have a question in person, just raise your hand and Justin will pass you the mic. We'll start off with an opening statement from Coach.
Yeah, just a tough night for our guys. We really have not experienced a defeat like that. It's really since I can remember. So, it's kind of tough pill to swallow. Give Carolina some credit. Their starter, Schaefer, was great, man. It's tremendous. That's 100% pitches. That's the first time. I think that's the first time we haven't been shut out the whole year. So give him credit. He did a great job. I think they gave us one free base the whole night. It's hard to lose when you give up one free base. So give him credit.
Questions?
Yeah, guys. Mark Berman.
Do you guys see this as a blip on the radar? You guys have been doing so well going into this, or do you kind of take this as a wake-up call going into NCAAs?
I don't really think our guys need a wake-up call. We just got beat. The guy pitched really well. That was not obviously the kind of start that we would normally get out of Drew Hackenberg. But after playing 53 games, I don't think our guys need a wake-up call. They can get their own wake-up call. But we just lost. They played a lot better than we did. We got beat by a good team, and we'll move on and prepare for the NCAA tournament.
Aaron.
Tanner, it looked like Schaefer was pretty much almost exclusively fastball for a lot of the game. It's coming. What made that pitch so hard to hit tonight?
So from my perspective, from a right-handed hitter, when he threw it up, the ball was carrying. When he threw it middle, it was tailing. When he threw it down, it was sinking. So on the scoreboard, you see it as one pitch, but when he throws it different locations, it comes across as 3 different pitches. That's not an excuse not to hit it, but we know the velo is going to be there, so we just have to make adjustments pitch to pitch.
Jonathan.
Hey, Coach, for you, could you point to anything particular, I guess, as to why what you saw from Hackenberg that just, I guess the decision to pull him after 1-2, was he just not executing, or?
Yeah, he just really wasn't executing his pitches. Everything was up in zone. We're down by 4 after the first, which is that's tough, especially against a good team like that. And it just didn't happen. It just didn't happen for us. We just figured we can kind of change the window, change the look, and I don't know if that was a good decision either. But whatever, man. Every once in a while, you're gonna run into a night like tonight. We ran into it, and we'll move on.
I guess a question for both of you guys too. After the first inning, especially, is there anything that you guys go to? I guess to kind of change the atmosphere, or just make something different as the game goes along.
From a player perspective, I'd say just sticking to our approach. That's not the first time we've been down early in a game. So I think all of us were just trying to stick to our approach and just make adjustments, but we didn't really do that at a high level today, which it happens sometimes. But I think when you're down early, all you got to do is just stick to your approach and know what works for each guy individually.
Coach, any message from you to the team? Or?
You get down early, and it's not like a coach is going to give guys a big pep talk or something like that. You're just trying to send guys up, stay as positive as you can, and as Tanner said, just try to stick with what the approach is going to be, and hope we can turn it.
We've got a final question on Zoom from Mark Berman. Go ahead, Mark.
John, as you said, kind of a head scratcher for you, uncharacteristic. First time you've been shut out, as you said, this year, and most lopsided loss of the year. Are there certain things that, for the most part this year, especially during these last 35 games or so, that you've been, you've really been able to rely on and hang your hat on night in, night out, that were not there for you tonight, either hitting wise or pitching wise?
Well, I think over that period of games that you're talking about, I think we pitched pretty well for the most part. We've produced an awful lot of runs for the most part. We played pretty good defense, and tonight it just was not. It just was, a lot of those things just weren't there. But they'll return. I have no regrets. I have no complaints about our guys, our coaching staff, and none of it. Our guys have been completely first class throughout the whole year. They played well, they prepared well. They're the same guys every day. Our coaching staff's the same way. So I'm not going to sit up here and criticize anybody. I'm not doing it. Like, our guys have been money. There'll be money in the postseason, and we'll move on from there.
Tanner, what you think will, coming off this loss, what will the mentality of the team be coming, in terms of trying to bounce back from this loss as you head into the NCAA tournament now?
I mean, Nick Biddison said it best in our dugout, is just don't let it happen again. So I don't think I think tomorrow we're just going to forget it, move on, and just practice hard this next week and perform in the regional.
All right, gentlemen, thank you. We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks, guys.
Literally. That guy asked a second question. Yeah. At like 11:45. Yeah. You can see. Yeah, bro. We'll get started with UNC. Again, if you have a question via Zoom, just use the raise hand tool. We'll start off with an opening statement from Coach Forbes. Go ahead, Coach.
Yeah, I mean, I should let this guy sitting 2 seats down to me make the opening statement. That's about as impressive of a pitching performance, and I've seen a lot of impressive ones at UNC. I was just joking with him on the way up on the elevator. That's what he did to us the whole preseason. He just did that to one of the better teams in the country. So, story of the game is Brandon Schaefer. Obviously, our offense, jumping on Hackenberg, who's also really good, and Vance with a big swing of the bat with a home run on a night that if you got the ball in the air, it had a chance to fly. So, I was most proud of how aggressive our guys were, and how they were ready to play, and Brandon set the tone.
Questions?
Brandon, obviously going back to the Virginia Tech series, obviously you didn't start that series, only got in relief there at the end of that one, but coming in tonight, obviously, given how much hype there is around this Virginia Tech offense and for good reason, what were your emotions like kind of coming into this one? Just how amped up were you for this opportunity and for it also be your first postseason start at UNC as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's really exciting anytime you get to be in the postseason, if you plan for a school like this on this stage. Really just, acknowledging that it's a big moment, but then not letting it take over you, and just stick to your game plan and what you've done all year. And really just treat it like another game. As cliche as that sounds, that's what you got to do. And I was just trying to, attack one batter at a time, and, you look up and you're later in the game, and that's just how it is.
Brandon, these last 3 starts for you have been some of your longest of the season. What's been working better? What's been working different as you kind of reach this pinnacle at the best point of the season?
Early on, I mean, I had a bit of a rude awakening coming into this league. That wasn't throwing as good as I wanted to. And I lost a little bit of confidence in myself. But, like going to that pen for a few weeks and then coming back, since then it's just been building up my confidence, and, it's coming back, and I think you can start to see that, and really just trusting in myself and in my defense and the guys behind me, because, it's a full team game and a full team effort. And, we're playing some good baseball right now, so that definitely helps the confidence level as well.
Brandon, you obviously attacked almost, I don't know, overwhelmingly with the fastball today.
I don't know if
That's,
been your MO down the stretch or what, but do you consciously try to, like, Strobel said, you know, it plays differently depending on where you throw it or how you throw it. Do you consciously try to manipulate that pitch to give it different action, or you just like, yeah, I'm coming at you with it and it kind of does what it's gonna do?
For the most part, I know what it's going to do. Especially, you know, where arm side has a little bit more sink on it and run. But if I can have control over that pitch, and you know, most of the time let it do what it's going to do, you know, it can be a, you know, an effective pitch because it comes across as, you know, maybe a sinker on one, maybe just straight four seam on another. So when it's on, it's a good pitch, and I was able to control it tonight, so that really helped me out.
Vance, that first home run that just got over the right field wall, I mean, you were sprinting around third. Did you not know it went out? What were you?
Yeah, I had no idea. I looked up and Mac was still running, so I just was thinking, okay, I got to get 3 here. But I got the coach Forbes, and he said it was a homer, so I just kind of jogged in from there, I guess.
And then Scott mentioned the aggressiveness, and he obviously has faith in you. He thought that ball went through the legs, and it didn't. You still were able to reach home. Just was part of that aggressiveness mentality for the week, or is it specific to today, or what was that?
I think just playing with confidence just helps like our aggression. You know, we're kind of on a roll here, riding some momentum. So I think whenever each person steps in the box, you know, they think they can do damage. That's a powerful thing. And it's just kind of getting in there, trusting in yourself and knowing that it's me against you, and just whoever's going to win, the better person's going to win.
Go ahead.
Vance, how much fun is it to hit in this ballpark, and what does it say about Brandon that he's able to shut out that offense at this yard?
Yeah, it says a lot. Going back to what Coach Forbes says, you know, he did it to us all preseason, especially me. I don't think I touched a pitch from him all preseason. But, you know, it says a whole lot about what he was able to do tonight. I thought he was very effective, and it was fun watching him.
Scott, you said Tuesday that Carlson was the story of the game, and now Brandon Schaefer is the story. But pitching hadn't been the story there for a while, but now it has been. Just what does it say about your staff to stay with it?
Yeah, I mean, I have to mention our pitching coach, who's, you know, is extremely involved with these guys. And, you know, Coach Gaines is a really smart pitching coach too, and he knows what to say and what not to say. And I think that was really important during the tough stretch. You know, still working with them, still believing in them. And that steady lead, I think, has helped these guys as a pitching staff. You know, and because I've been there, I've been in his shoes, and you go through a tough time because pitching is just like hitting. You can have a pitching slump, and that's kind of what we were in. And, you know, we were thin, and all of a sudden, you know, our guys started stepping up. That's been cool to see. But the preparation is what I know, you know, from the Coach Gaines standpoint. How much time he spends preparing and watching Virginia Tech and getting a game plan with Brandon. And then obviously Brandon went out and executed it.
Got a couple of Zoom questions here. Mark Berman, go ahead.
Hi, Mark Berman of the Roanoke Times. Brandon, to follow up on that, I guess what was kind of the pitching plan going into this game, and how closely did things work out the way you had thought it was going to?
Going into this game, I mean, we obviously, you know, we know that these guys can swing the bat pretty well. They have all year, but that wasn't going to change. We were just going to go after these guys and attack them, and you know, make them swing the bat. You know, we weren't going to like pitch around a lot of guys, and basically just, you know, live in the zone and trust the defense behind us as well, because we have a good defending team, and just you know, that makes, you know, your job a lot easier out there as well. So we were just going to go after these guys, and you know, the offense went up a 4 spot in the first inning. That helps a ton. Takes a lot of stress off the staff. So, you know, all came together tonight.
And then for Vance or for Coach, what helped your hitters be so effective in the first inning against Hackenberg, and then of course again in the second inning when they put Fireboy in?
I think just going back to the aggression, getting in there with confidence, and just kind of having the mentality of it's me versus you. And then, you know, we jumped on them, and they brought in the guy in the second inning, and, you know, Angel just set the tone once again. He had a really good AB. I think it was 3-2, and then put one in the top deck. So it was cool.
Got Arl Bynum. Arl, go ahead.
Hey, Coach Forbes, obviously you've been with the program a long time, pitching coach for a number of years. You've seen a lot of big time pitching performances in big games. Do others come to mind to compare to what Brandon did tonight?
Man, at the ACC tournament, we've had some really good ones. But against that type of offense, to throw a complete game shutout, it's definitely ranks at the top. Obviously, the Alex White, the Matt Harveys, those guys have thrown some big complete games for us. Zach Gallons, a number of guys, Robert Woodard at Clemson in the World Series. But man, that's a tough lineup, one of the best in baseball, and so it's going to rank up there pretty high for me.
Thank you.
All right, we'll wrap this up with Adam Smith. Go ahead.
Scott, you smiled when Brandon said it had been a rude awakening. Just wondering what you've noticed from him, or maybe even learned about him as he's gone through some of the ups and the downs that you go through during a college baseball season.
I was lucky. The summer before, we didn't have summer school, and all these guys were in summer school. Vance was there, but Brandon was a JUCO transfer, so he was the oldest guy, and it was really clear to me how meticulous he was and how hard he worked, and he had a plan. So I was already on him in a good way early on, just observing, watching him do what he did. But at the end of the day, what Brandon found out is this is a tough league. You can have a great preseason. You can even be good against your own hitters, but this league is the best in the country, in my opinion, this year. And he found that out, and it's a credit to him, because what's cool about this game is we took him out of the rotation and we were fighting for our lives on that Sunday against Virginia Tech. And we brought in Brandon Schaefer to close the door, and he closed it. And since then, he's pitched pretty dang good. So he showed me a lot right there. And Vance said it best too. It's a long season. And our guys have really learned the importance of how that adversity can make you way better and make you tougher. And you just have to keep playing.
Thanks, guys. We appreciate it.